One of the goals of legalizing marijuana was to repair the damage of mass cannabis convictions among people of color. The state says it is proud of the steps it's made over these past 4 years to make the industry more attainable for everyone.
When cannabis was illegal, 80% of arrests were black and brown people. My brother was one of the 80% of people who was arrested for cannabis possession.
His brother's arrest was one of the reasons Matthew Brewer wanted to get into the marijuana industry. Brewer is now celebrating his first year as the proud owner of the Grasshopper Club, the first independent black-owned dispensary in Chicago.
It was a full circle moment when we opened our first location, and the first purchase ever here was my brother.
He co-owns this Logan Square dispensary with his brother Chuck and mother Diane.
I had no relationship with marijuana.
It's a venture Miss Diane couldn't have imagined in her wildest dreams as a black woman. When recreational marijuana became legal in Illinois back in 2020, the first cannabis businesses to open were 100% majority white-owned, and the state caught a lot of flack for that. Critics argued the barriers to entry were so extreme and costly, people of color were finding it nearly impossible to break into the industry. The following year, Illinois launched its social equity program, which connects people and communities that have historically been impacted by criminalization of cannabis to business ownership opportunities in the legal cannabis industry. Aaron Johnson, who oversees marijuana operations in Illinois, says as of 2021, anyone in the state seeking marijuana business licenses must meet social equity criteria.
You really qualify by living in a disproportionately impacted area, so disproportionately low high school graduation rate, disproportionately high use of SNAP benefits, those markers that are really race neutral, but really get at the folks who were harmed by the war on drugs. We are literally the most diverse industry in the country. We've led the way.
According to a state report analyzed by the ABC7 data team, from 2020 to 2023, black-owned cannabis companies in Illinois increased from 0 to 27%. Latino-owned companies went from 0 to 5%, and women-owned companies increased from 3 to 16%.
So we're really doing things to make sure that our cannabis industry looks like the state of Illinois.
But critics like Ambrose Jackson, CEO of the minority-owned cannabis company, the 1937 Group, says the state could do much more.
The license holders, these social equity license holders who were promised a dream, have had that dream either deferred or squashed. There are a number of barriers to entry into this industry that they still are not able to overcome.
Raising capital is a huge issue. Jackson says to date, the state has not followed through on its legal obligation to provide funding to dispensary license holders via the Social Equity Cannabis Loan Program. The state didn't tell me what was behind the delay for the release of these funds, but told me they hope to start accepting applications this week. Back at Grasshopper Club, the owners are thankful to have not just one, but 2 thriving dispensaries in Illinois. But Matthew Brewer wants to see more business owners that look like him.
Frankly, a little bit disappointing that there's not more.
Critics say other barriers include extremely high cannabis taxes, which are among the highest in the nation, and the tight deadline for license holders to have their businesses up and running. The state tells me it is committed to ensuring the federal government passes the Safer Banking Act so that marijuana businesses can take advantage of the same loans other small businesses are able to access.
Watch breaking news on YouTube. Subscribe to ABC7 Chicago Eyewitness News.